So anytime you ask a MAGA Republican, what does make America great again mean to you? When was America great? They'll always say now, they'll say, well, it was back 4 years ago when Trump was in office. And then when you remind them that he ran on that same slogan back in 2016, so when was it great before that? 9 times out of 10, they'll say, well, back when we were young, back when we were kids. Oh, okay, so back when you had no responsibilities, back when someone else paid all your bills, back when you didn't know how government and institutions worked, back when you didn't understand why the black kids was all upset, that's when you thought things were great. And the only way that it could be made great again was to elect this one man. And it was great for those 4 years he was in there, but then the minute he left office, it just went to hell again. And the only way you can make it great again is to elect him. But if you elect him and you don't fix the problems, then how are you ever going to make it great? Because our side's not going to shut up. If he gets reelected, we're not going to shut up and we're not going to stop talking about the issues at hand. All the things we want to talk about that pisses you off, we're going to continue to talk about it even louder if he were to be reelected. So the only way you're ever really going to make it great again, if it ever was in the first place, then you're going to have to work at fixing the problems. And I can promise you that if you will go out here and ask women, when was it great? Or if you ask people of color, when was it great? Or you ask gay and trans people, when was it great? Or you ask the natives when it was great, you're going to get an entirely different response from the narrow-minded one that you give. But again, if you really want to make it great, you're going to have to work to fix the problems. And what that means is you're going to have to look over at those of us on the left, and you're going to have to stop referring to us as communists. You're going to have to stop referring to us as socialists. You're going to have to stop referring to us as the enemy of the people. You're going to have to stop saying that you want to secede from the union and you want a divorce and you want to move past us. You got to stop buying into the rhetoric that we are the enemy of the people. Now, I know what some of you are already screaming. Well, hold on a minute. You guys call us racist. You guys call us homophobes. Well, that's when you say racist shit or homophobic, bigoted shit. That's when we say it to you. Okay, so you have to understand that this entire time we've been trying to raise awareness on issues and you've been buying into the whole anti-woke ideology. You've been ignoring the problems. And that's why you don't understand when we say what you just said was racist or what you just said was bigoted or what you just said was homophobic or transphobic. I know you don't understand it because you were back in that bubble of when it was great. And you've never evolved to realize that you have to work together to fix the problems. You can't support a man who says he hopes the economy crashes simply because he's not in office. He doesn't want Joe Biden to look good, so he hopes it all crashes. So in other words, he hopes that your life is miserable. He hopes the country isn't great for you. So he has no problem with your life not being great. It's all about him getting in. Look at what's going on at the border. This is a case in point. This has been the big boogeyman all these years. This is what Trump started off with. We're going to build a wall because they're not sending their best and their brightest. Okay. Well, here you guys go. Our side's saying, hey, we're here. We're ready to fix it. And he's saying to Republicans, hey, don't do that because I don't want Joe Biden to look good. I want to run on this in November. I want to fix this problem when I get in. So if this was such a big boogeyman, if this was the cause of all the problems that we have, then how can you justify not wanting to fix it right now? If it's that urgent of an issue, why not fix it right now? And instead of going out here and fighting all these ridiculous culture wars that get you nowhere, instead of getting mad at Bud Light and Starbucks and Target, and instead of getting mad at Taylor Swift for going to a football game, if you truly want to make it great, then you're going to have to work alongside people you might not always agree with. And what's the one thing that MAGA Republicans have said this entire time? Well, we just want our voice to be heard, man. Trump spoke for us. We wanted our voices to be heard. Okay, well, you're not the only people here. All right, you're not the only ones in this country. It's a great big world past the Dollar General down there at the end of the holler. If you'll drive down to the end of the holler, you see that Dollar General. If you'll make a left, and you'll just drive till you see one of them little blue signs that says interstate, get on that damn thing and drive and go till you see a big town. And get out and walk around, and you will realize that the world is a much bigger place, and you and Mama and Papa back in the holler is not the only people on this planet. So if you want your voice to be heard, you're going to have to look over at other people, and you're going to have to stop, and you're going to have to listen to them. And you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and work alongside people that you might not always agree with. You're going to have to work alongside of people who you may not even want to be in the same room with. But if you truly want to make it great for you or for everybody, then you're going to have to come down off this idol worship that you're on, which is the only way it can be great is if Trump's there. You don't realize how ignorant and just idiotic and insane that it looks to the rest of us when people tells us the only way it's great is when this guy is back in. Well, if he gets back in, that's not going to fix the problems. None of them are going to go away because we're still going to keep talking about it. Taylor Swift is still going to be out there going to football games. She's still going to be encouraging people to vote. We're still going to be raising awareness, and you're going to scream anti-woke. But you have to get out of that bubble that he's got you all in. You're all under his spell, and you're looking straight at him, and you think he's got the answer to your problems. And when you say stuff like, just let him be dictator for a day, because if he does, he'll fix all of our problems in one day, and he'll just give it back, you're showing your ignorance. You're showing just how ignorant you truly are. There is no way anyone could pull that off. I do not think there is a Democrat on this planet that could get into office tomorrow and fix every problem in 24 hours, and we would just all just eat milk and honey. I mean, that's not going to happen. That is like biblical stuff that, like, when you die and you go up to this big land you're going to see. That's how bizarre it is that you honestly think that one dude could get in and wipe it all away in 24 hours. So if you truly want to make it great again, and again, the argument is, was it ever great? But if you truly want to make it great, then you got to realize that you're not the only people here. And you got to realize that other Americans are going to disagree with you from now on. And if you lose, you can't pitch a fit, and you can't go try and take the law into your own hands. You can't do all that crap, because that doesn't make you look cool either. There's people right now getting all excited running to the border, just like they got all excited and ran to the Capitol. And those things won't end well for you. They're never going to. Because the sane, logical people is going to step up, and they're going to have to shut that stuff down. And you can sit and scream prisoner and persecuted and all this bullshit, but until you get away from that worship of Donald Trump and get an understanding of how the government works, and get an understanding that, as Reba McEntire would say, there's life out there, then America is never going to be great. The only way you're ever going to make it great is you're going to have to work to fix the problems.